Welcome to the Local Government Elections Debate, brought to you by the Jamaica Debates Commission in association with the Canadian International Development Agency, CIDA, the British High Commission, the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, the DNG Foundation, Jamaica Public Service Company Limited, and Columbus Business Solutions. Tonight, we focus on local government management and reform. Our moderator is Archibald Gordon.
Good evening. Welcome to the first national political debate on local government organized by the Jamaica Debates Commission, staged before a live studio audience. The debate is intended to assist in identifying, clarifying, and understanding the policy direction, approach, and issues being presented in this local government election campaign. This evening's debate is in the form of a team debate. As is customary in television debates production, the audience is prohibited from applauding the debaters, except for now, when we announce each team. For the Jamaica Labour Party, Member of Parliament Desmond Mackenzie. Senator Robert Montague. And Mayor Milton Brown. For the People's National Party, Mayor Brenda Ramsey, Minister Noel R. Scott, and Senator Angela Brown Burke. Members of the panel of questioners are Natalie Campbell of IRI FM, Dwayne Burbick of CVM TV, and Roma Tomlinson of the Jamaica Observer and Northern Caribbean University. I'm your moderator, Archibald Gordon. The guidelines for tonight's debates have been previously agreed and are posted on the Debate Commission's website at www.jamaicadebatescommission.org. The guidelines include questions being no longer than 30 seconds and each team being allowed 3-minute opening and 2-minute closing statements, 90 seconds to respond to each question, and rebuttals are limited to 60 seconds. The questions posed in tonight's debate are created by the panel of journalists and are not influenced by the Jamaica Debates Commission in any way. Arising from a coin toss earlier, Team PNP will make the first of the opening statements, while Team JLP will make the final of the closing statements at the end of the debate. And now the 3-minute opening statement from Team PNP.
My fellow Jamaicans, good evening. Team PNP thanks the Jamaica Debating Committee for raising the funds to have this debate this evening. The People's National Party's commitment to local government is long-standing and unquestionable. Evidence shows major advances has always been under the People's National Party. History will show that Norman Manley in 1937 developed Jamaica's social welfare. This was followed by the social changes in the 1970s led by Michael Manley. The combination of community development and local government was developed under Prime Minister P.J. Patterson, and continued under Portia Simpson Miller. These elections are extremely important. Local government reform is a critical plank of the People's National Party's platform. We will increase autonomy of local government, increase the ability of local government to finance and provide services for the citizens. We'll give effect to people power by putting power where the people matters. The People's National Party has never dissolved local government. The Jamaica Labour Party has done so on several occasions. Over the last 4 years, local government reform seemed to have gone to sleep. My fellow Jamaicans, as former councillor and local government minister, our Prime Minister, has always been committed to local government reform. We will entrench local government, give legal recognition to the community development committees, the area development committees, the parish development committees, so that we will give power to the people where it matters. We invite Jamaicans to join us in this exciting and important step. Please show your willingness to participate by going out to vote come Monday, the 26th. Vote for the People's National Party.
Thank you, Mr. Ascott. Let us now hear Team JLP's 3-minute opening statement.
Good evening, my fellow Jamaicans. Let me, on behalf of the Jamaica Labour Party and a wide extension, the people of Jamaica, say how grateful we are to the Jamaica Debates Committee for affording local government the privilege to participate in this national debate. The Jamaica Labour Party have answered the call previously to provide stable, honest, and sincere leadership at the local government level. We did so before, and we are now ready, willing, and able to continue that process. The Jamaica Labour Party has ensured that under our stewardship at the level of local government, we have put forward positive results in terms of how local government is to be operated. When I served as mayor, led a team of councillors, and right across the country, my colleague local government practitioners demonstrated a will, a commitment to enhance local government. It was under a Jamaica Labour Party government administration that the forward march for the full entrenchment of local government was started. We made significant gains. Under Jamaica Labour Party administration, the parish councils were able to promote the question of transparency, accountability. We provided a stable environment for the advancement of local government. We are confident, we are certain of the Jamaica Labour Party's commitment to local government. It has been proven before. We are committed to that task. We do not want to speak about local government in terms of empowering the people without, first of all, empowering the system so that the people can fully participate in the system. Because it is when you empower the system, the people will be able to participate. We want to put local government on a footing that no political party, no minister can interfere with. We want to create a local government system where there are clear interactions between the local authorities and the Minister of Finance, because it takes cash to care, and without money, a proper local government system can never survive. I invite Jamaica, based on our performance since 2003, to continue to give that level of support to the Jamaica Labour Party. We did it before, and we are more than capable of doing it again. I urge Jamaicans to vote JLP.
Thank you very much, Mr. McKenzie. Our first question tonight comes from Natalie Campbell of IRI FM, and it will be directed to Team PNP.
Councils often turn to central government for additional funding, as is the case now with the trucking of water during the drought. If the councils are not managing, why not have central government take over services such as this?
The truth is that any organization that is underfunded is not going to perform its responsibilities as it should. And it is the historical lack of investment in local government that spurred the PNP in 1995 to establish the reform unit and to officially launch the reform. So what we have had since then is a series of reforms that have improved the performance. So whether it was the parochial revenue fund as a dedicated source of revenue, whether it was new sources of revenue, whether it was enhancing existing sources of revenue. When we started back in 95% of the monies that came to councils came as grants from central government. It is as a result of the reform that some of the claims to which the Jamaica Labour Party now hold on to, those have been made possible because of the reforms and the foundation laid by the People's National Party. We talk a little bit about why then should we still ensure that local government holds its place, and I'll allow the Minister Oscar to take that part.
Well, we have to, in a situation of crisis, as we have in drought, central government would most naturally have to intervene. So there are issues and there are areas where central government would have to intervene.
Thank you very much, Mr. Arscott. Let us now have a rebuttal from Team JLP.
It is the intention of the Jamaica Labour Party to ensure that adequate funding is available to enable the local authorities to carry out their business. Under the Jamaica Labour Party, the collection from property tax improved some 25–30%. This makes additional funding available to the local authorities. We are of the view that the local authorities should have access to funding from commercial services. We are also of the view that the local authorities should have the capacity and will have the capacity to access funds from international organizations. In the case of the European Union, we recognize that there are opportunities for us to get funding to assist with provision of water. And we don't think the trucking of water is sustainable. We want to establish and put in place sustainable method of getting water to the people.
Thank you very much, Mr. Brown. The second question goes to Team JLP and is from Dwayne Burbick of CVM TV.
Aside from making local government a department in the Office of the Prime Minister, what exactly did the JLP achieve in making local government more autonomous?
The Jamaica Labour Party came with a very deliberate strategy of making local government autonomous. We established a department because it was for a transitionary period until the councils got full autonomy. During that time, 4 councils indeed achieved that autonomy: St. James, Manchester, St. Thomas, and Trelawney. They received their funding and monies directly from the Ministry of Finance. It is our view that with that level of autonomy and independence of the councils, they can perform the services that they are supposed to perform. We have also moved to reduce bureaucracy. We have also moved to make the councils more accountable, and we have provided better management. Indeed, we were so accountable in bringing our accounts up to date that the councils in the 6 banana growing parishes were able to approach the European Union and got funding. In addition, a number of councils were commended by the Contractor General for their adherence to the government procurement guidelines. Therefore, better management, reduction of bureaucracy led to better services in the communities. The Jamaica Labour Party believes and is pushing autonomy, and that is why we abolished the Ministry of Local Government and made it into a department.
Thank you, Mr. Montague. Let's have a rebuttal now from Team PNP.
Well, it seems that the Jamaica Labour Party has once again relegated the local government councils. They speak about getting money directly from the Ministry of Finance. We're about empowering councils to raise their own funds, to be creative and innovative, and therefore to speak about a kind of mendicancy approach. That is not the style of the People's National Party. We're about real autonomy and real power for the people. The proposals that have been languishing, that was developed by the People's National Party, have still not been enforced in law. And therefore, the People's National Party will take those again and begin the process of really entrenching them in the Jamaican Constitution. So what I'd like to say to you is that Yes, we are going to put local government on an independent path to raise funds and for the citizens to be an integral part of the process.
Thank you, Mr. R. Scott. Next question is to Roma Tomlinson. It's from Roma Tomlinson, and it goes to Team PNP.
Over the years, we've heard much talk about local government reform, and we're hearing both parties now, including Team PNP, say that they will be, empowering persons at the local level. People power, I think, was the term that was used just not too long ago. But why should persons believe that the sweeping changes needed to really bring parish councils in particular up to par? Why should they believe that you're going to make those changes now?
Well, we have created an entire apparatus in terms of the whole reform of local government. There's a unit that the JLP councils inherited. It was well advanced in its work. A series of laws which should have been put through the parliament for debate and implementation. But we intend to begin the process. We promise to, as quickly as possible, not let them lie in any office at Jamaica House. But we intend to get them through the cabinet and into the parliament for debate and implementation.
And before Mrs. Ramsey speaks about some of the things that Manchester has done as a parish, let us not forget that the People's National Party, as every term, has demonstrated a commitment to local government reform. When we talk about a similarity of views on some of the major issues, let us not forget how that came about. That came about because the People's National Party insisted that local government was too important an issue to play a political football with. And so we engaged a series of consultation such that in 2007, before the Parliament, came the Nettleford Report with many of the items that I just heard you talk about.
Manchester stands proud in its efforts in the reform of local government.
Thank you, Ms. Ramsey. Let us have a rebuttal now from Team JLP.
The argument of empowering the people in order to participate in the advancement of local government is just a phase. I want to make the point. You cannot empower the people without first empowering the system, because the system is at the mercy of a minister. The minister dictates how the local government system operates. And we have seen it before where ministers have taken decisions that have hurt local government. The Jamaica Labour Party is of the firm belief that local government can work, full autonomy. We believe that entrenching local government fully in the Constitution of Jamaica is the only way to go, because it will protect the integrity of the system. It will allow the system to work. And as local government practitioners, we must be answerable to the people who elect us, because the people vote for us in the same way they vote for their members of parliament.
Thank you very much, Mr. McKenzie. The next question is from Natalie Campbell. It goes to Team JLP.
Some have argued that local government should be run as a business. What systems or structures are in place to ensure fiscal responsibility and accountability in the councils?
We in the Jamaica Labour Party agree that local government should be run as a business. And we have taken steps to ensure this. As we speak, all councils, both those run by the Jamaica Labour Party and others, have their accounts up to date. You recognize that the reason why 4 parishes were able to access funding directly from the Ministry of Finance is that their accounts are up to date. This is a scheduled activity. We were scheduled to have all of the parishes doing the same by August of this year, with April being a date when 4 others would have gone directly to the Ministry of Finance. We have established the Public Accounts Committee in the councils. This is similar to the committee that operates at Parliament, except for the fact that we have civilians, citizens participating in this process. In the local authorities, in the local government authorities, we have taken the budgets to the people. before we implement the budget every year, we take the budget to the people. We have been participating with the parish development committees. They have members on several of the parish council committees. And we have been getting good support. We have been getting the people to participate. And we think that this makes us more able to serve the people and to be transparent in what we do.
Thank you very much, Mr. Brown. A rebuttal now from Team PNP.
I'm happy to stand and to hear Mr. Brown enunciating all of these good things. And it is good when you can follow good examples, because long before anything, Manchester was the leading council with budget to the people. And Minister, the former minister, is now shaking his head because time and time again he has commended our council for good governance.
But let us not paint a picture that people know is not there. Let us at the very least be factual when we talk today. Because it is true. There are shining examples like Manchester. But it is not true to say that as a system, we are taking the budgetary process to the people. That's where we would like to go. And the new proposed Financial Act has some of the provisions to make that so. In terms of getting our accounts up to date, we know that's not true. The people of Jamaica, they know it is not true. That's where we'd want to go.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Brown-Burke. Dwayne Burbick has the next question and goes to Team PNP.
Some of the roads that were to be fixed under the Jamaica Development Infrastructure Program, they were parochial roads. How will the PNP seek to fill that void now created with the suspension of the program?
Well, let me begin that one of the disappointments about the JDIP is that the councils, in good faith, put their funds into the pool, and to their great disappointment, only a limited few were selected. Most of the roads were done without consultations with even the councils that provided the funds to central government so they could qualify for the loan. A set of deception took place in the country, and we'd like to say that this wrong must be right. And I'd say that the People's National Party will examine as close as possible the arrangements, and I've been trying to get them, the arrangements made from local government to central government, what proportion of their funds will be provided for roads.
But let us not forget that the Parochial Revenue Fund is a dedicated source of funding for roads. It's not adequate, and that is why in the proposals that we're bringing, we're talking about public-private partnership. We're talking about creativity by the councils in terms of how they get these things done. And just as our Manchester has been able to show some level of creativity, I am certain that there are councils that will stand up to that challenge and ensure that once it's not hold on and take away with the Parochial Revenue Fund, we can put it to good use and then go and find our partners out there, whether it is community or private sector, to assist us in doing some of what we need to do.
Thank you, Mrs. Brown-Burke. A rebuttal now from Team JLP.
We don't mind following best practices, be they at Manchester, Westmoreland, or elsewhere. So, Brenda, we thank you.
Glad we could lead.
The JLP will need to find funding to address the matter of those roads that have been taken off the JDIP program. The roads are to serve the people in rural Jamaica, and we need to have them repaired, be they in Manchester, Westmoreland, or St. Catherine. And it is a commitment of the Jamaica Labour Party to find funding to ensure that the roads that serve the real people of the country is addressed and they are repaired.
As a matter of fact, a number of the roads that were repaired under the JDIP program were recommended by the various councils. Land settlement in Manchester, indeed, in St. James, in St. Catherine, in St. Mary, in St. Anne, in St. Thomas, all over. A number of parish council roads were repaired under the JDIP program.
Thank you very much, Senator Montague. Roma Tomlinson has the next question. It goes to Team JLP.
On the matter of accountability to the people, I think it was just mentioned that some budgets are taken to the public. But a number of parish councils still have their finance committees closed to the media. If elected, would you consider opening those committees to the media for further scrutiny?
Definitely.
One of the things you must understand that the parish councils act under different regulations. There is the Kingston and St. Andrew Corporation Act and there are the Parish Council Act. The Finance Committee of Councils are indeed open to the public. I don't know of any such committee that is not. The fact is that the Jamaica Labour Party introduced a system that was put in place to ensure that the backlog of outstanding financial data at all parish councils was up to date. A significant portion of the parish councils, as I speak today, are up to date with their financial records. And as Senator Montague said earlier on, even the Contractor General, and if you look at some of the reports that go to Parliament from the Auditor General, does in fact speak to significant improvement at the level of the question of accountability at the parish council level.
Thank you, Mr. Mackenzie. A rebuttal
The
now
Parish
from...
Development Committee has members that participate in the activity of the local authorities, all committees.
Thank you very much, Mayor Brown. A rebuttal now from Team PNP.
The People's National Party believes in greater participation and transparency because we believe that it improves significantly efficiency. It also empowers citizens to hold government accountable. And that is why they opened the sittings of Parliament and parliamentary committees so that the public can have full access to these committees and information. The new Local Governance Act will make provision for the preparation and publication of yearly plans, as well as reports will be made to the public on the authority's performance. The Public Accounts Committees also will be opened to the public, and we commit to that. Contracts will be posted on the website.
Thank you, Mayor Ramsey. Roma Tomlinson has indicated that she'd like to use her first follow-up question.
A follow-up to Team JLP. You pointed out, sir, in your response, Mr. Mackenzie, that all the financial committees, I believe was what you said, are indeed open to the public. But calls just today to a number of parish councils, I could give you names if you so desired, pointed out that no, these financial committees were not open to the media. So unless I'm not understanding, not opening to the media, does it mean then that it is open to the public but not open to the media? What I'm saying is that the actual person sitting in the secretary manager's offices pointed out that no, these financial committees are closed. So can you just point out that if elected, would you do something about that? Because clearly there is a difference in what we're understanding.
The Jamaica Labour Party have demonstrated that level of openness as it relates to transparency, because we have, in fact, put in place the necessary mechanisms to ensure that the level of transparency is there. For instance, you can go and obtain that information through the access of information. But let me say, whatever it takes to ensure that local government is transparent, that local government is responsive to the public cry for transparency, the Jamaica Labour Party is committed to it and will be working feverishly to ensure that that is done.
But in addition to that, you must understand that at the Finance Committee, there's also human resource matters. And those sections will not be open to the public because it deals with sensitive matters of employment to the employees within the system.
Thank you, Mr. Montague. A rebuttal now from Team PNP.
One of the things that I think we really need to talk about is exactly what is happening here. And part of the aim of the review with the strategic laws that we are proposing is to consolidate the laws that exist. It's one thing for the Kingston and St. Andrew Corporation, it's another thing for the parish councils. Just the other day, I accompanied the minister to the St. James Parish Council, and a gentleman sat in there wanting to just hear what was happening, and the mayor ordered him out. And I believe that if it is that we believe in